So look at all the pretties I found at the flea market. Lots of bling. We have several bracelets and brooches in this box. And then over here we have a bunch of necklaces, all cup chain. We're just going to kind of go through these and see if we can find quality pieces, vintage pieces, see if there's any that are newer. Hi everyone, I'm Lynn from Finds of Yesterday, and I went to the flea market and found lots of bling. I made a deal with the guy. I bought out 2 of his cases, and most of them are cup chain pieces, and you'll see here there's lots of bracelets with lots of rhinestones and brooches, and this box is full of necklaces, mostly cup chain pieces. Let's kind of go through these and see if we can find quality pieces and see if any of these are newer or if they're more vintage. So this piece is a lovely chain link, gold tone, glossy, kind of has a serpentine look to it, but chunky. And it has a snap clasp or a fold over clasp on the end, and it is signed Napier. As you can see, maybe camera doesn't want me to get too close. That's as close as I can get. It says Napier. Napier is always a good brand to pick up. It's got good quality items, well made. Next is, this is my favorite piece out of here. It's got these frosted or satin glass rhinestones, marquee shaped with little pink accent rhinestones, and an antiqued gold kind of decorative link in between. It's got the fold over clasp, and there is no name on it, but what a pretty bracelet. That one, I will probably list this one at $39.99. Here we have a lovely, this could be sterling silver. I haven't tested it yet, but this is filigree. You can see the little spun wires. This takes so much time to make. Can you imagine making each one of these lengths and how long it took to make them? It's got a little spring ring clasp on it. You can tell this is older. It's just of quality, and these were done a lot in the early 1900s. This one looks in a little newer shape than that, so it could possibly have been made, I guess, into the 40s. They might have even done them in the 50s, but I still think this one's probably more so 1930s, 40s. Really lovely piece. That one I paid individually for. And then we have this nice little flower oval link with a fold over clasp again. Let's see if it's got a name on it. I don't think it does. Yes, it does. Just cannot get my camera to focus. It says 1/20th of 12 karat GF, which is gold filled, and it's Probst USA. So that is the brand, made in the United States. It's got the links on the back side with the flower pressed metal on the front. Again, a fold over clasp and a little spring ring on the other end. That one's such a cute piece. Here we have a cup chain bracelet with a diamond shaped center on it. It does have some darkened stones, but here's what the back looks like. And the clasp is not signed. Clasp is not signed. It's missing a rhinestone on the clasp, but it has some darkened stones. I wouldn't have bought this one individually, but it came with the whole lot that I made the deal with the guy. This one's so pretty. It's kind of a linked gold tone with rhinestone center, almost like a tennis bracelet. This one, now it is newer. It has this lobster claw clasp on the end, and it's probably more so from the 90s, late 90s. And you flip it over, and it does have some wear on the gold. For it being a 1990s one, it's probably not real high quality, but it's still a really pretty bracelet. And the stones are starting to turn a little bit. I might list this one for between $15 and $20. Now here is a gorgeous bracelet. Look at them red AB rhinestones. This one was made after 1955 because AB rhinestones were not invented until 1955 by Swarovski. Or I should say the AB coating was invented by Swarovski. Looking for a name on the back. It does have some light wear on the gold tone. I believe it's BSK. Yes, there it is. With the copyright symbol. And this one I would list at $35. I believe it is worth that. It is a gorgeous piece. Next, we have another cup chain. This is what they call cup chain. See how the little cups are linked together by a little flat bar, and each one holds a rhinestone. Each little cup holds a rhinestone, and these happen to be a pretty topaz color. Now in my listing I would probably say yellow orange glass rhinestone, not topaz, because they are not technically topaz, and you could technically get in trouble for it, but some people still use it. And it's got these gorgeous teardrop shaped rhinestones in the center. Almost looks like eyeglasses. And they are all prong set if you look close enough. There's prongs on every corner. Let's flip it over. And it's got open backs, so the light comes through the big stones, which is really nice. There's no name on the clasp. That's usually where you would find a name if you were going to find it on one of these. This piece I would probably list at $29 to $35, somewhere in there. Next we have a mesh chain. Looks like it has a little bit of gold tone wear on it. Some gold tone is missing in a lot of spots. Again, I try to avoid buying pieces that are tarnished or have a lot of gold tone wear unless they're really unique. You can see it on the side here. Actually, I'm wondering if that's just the inside stuff kind of coming through because it's mesh. I think it does still have some gold tone wear with this pretty channel cup chain, it looks like. Blue rhinestones, kind of like a tennis bracelet. Has the fold over clasp. It's marked there clearly SAC, and that is Sarah Coventry. She used this from I think 1955 or 1956 through the 60s. It's a nice Sarah Coventry piece. I love the mesh pieces, but for the way this one is a little bit tarnished, I think I would say I would put on it about 20. If it was in really good condition, I'd probably put 30. Next we have a gorgeous, here again, yellow-orange topaz colored bracelet. This one's got multi-layers to it, like 5 layers, some brown rhinestones in between, and it's very unique with these AB rhinestones in between that are like a bluish color on that end and on this end. So you know they're supposed to be there if it's on both ends. The back looks like this. You can see the cups and the little links between them. And there is no mark on the back of the clasp. That is such a great piece. The stones look really good. This one, I really think I want to put 45 on. I may take a little bit less for that one, but I still think it's gorgeous. Here we have another clear rhinestone one. Clear rhinestone bracelets don't tend to sell real fast for me. It's not marked. Again, cup chain, it's got some baguette accents. The clear ones just tend to darken easy, it seems like, or over time they just, I don't know. So we got another one, but this one has 5 layers like that other topaz colored one. This is absolutely gorgeous. Now this one I can see selling a lot faster than that last one I just had. It's got a little box clasp, which that pushes in to this side. Sometimes I feel like calling it a push lock, because you push it in and it locks into this little box. So I guess you could probably call it a box clasp or a push lock. Technically it's a push lock is something different, but this one is extra special because it has the safety chain on it to protect it from falling off, which is really nice. And there's the other hook it hooks onto. Nice piece. This one, again, I will probably put 40 on. If it was colored like this one, I'd put 45. Another beautiful bracelet. AB rhinestones. It's got some little mother of pearl round beads in between it. It is a linked chain bracelet. The AB rhinestones have a pink color to them and iridescent. It has a fold over clasp. Let's see if it's marked. It is marked SC. That is another Sarah Coventry piece. This one's in really good condition. Sarah Coventry is just not a huge brand. Like, it doesn't sell for high dollars. It still sells. It just doesn't sell for a lot of money. The back looks really good on it yet. And it's just so blingy and beautiful. I think I'd still mark this one at 35. And this is just one of my favorites. Gosh, I almost want to keep this one. Look at the color of these stones. They're like a greenish yellow hue, and they're open backs. They are on a gold tone that does have some wear, but that does not bother me one bit on this piece because it kind of looks like an antiqued gold color. And the stones are just huge, and they have these little decorative prongs that just add so much to it. There's so much work into this. Look at the links, how they're etched with like a triangle shape etch on them. And it's got a little decorative clasp and a fold over on this end, and there's no name. Let's see if I can get this. It's got some stripes on the clasp. You see that? It's pretty traditional. But look at that, 4 large square glass links. Beautiful piece. Since I'm attached to this one, I probably will put $39.99 on it and go from there. We do have another bracelet. This one I did pick up, even though it is newer. You see this type of a flower, pretty common in newer jewelry with this texture on the back. It's kind of just a simple brushed look on it. And the clampers that clamp in the middle are pretty traditional. There's no name on it, but all of the rhinestones are there. It's not missing any. It has this, I almost call it like a quilted, or like a, what would you call that? A pebbled, it's like a pressed fabric or something. That's what it reminds me of. And the rhinestones look good. It's a good, nice, solid piece. It's got decent weight to it, but it is really pretty. And that one, I really don't know what I'm going to price it at. I'm thinking about 25. Here we have an older dress clip. Looks like brass setting with colorful rhinestones in a heart shape. And you can see the back here is the dress clip. Let's flip this open. It's got the prongs on it, so that holds it onto your material. These are little domed, little caps, domed. This one looks like it's been squished. But the backs of these are all open. You can see the points of the rhinestones, so they're all clear. Look at that. Very nice piece. As far as price on this one, I would say around $30–35. And here we have another older one. If this was newer, it would have a texture like this on the back. This one, it's kind of hard to tell if it's new or old by looking at it from the front. There is a couple indicators to me, but I don't know for sure until I flip it on the back. So the giveaways on the back is it's got a smooth finish, and they did that a lot in the early 1900s to the 50s and 60s, and then they started using more of a textured back. You might see some of the texture in the 50s and 60s, but not as much. It's also got, I'm pretty sure this is C-clasp and it's not broke. Yeah, it has a C-clasp on it, which dates it earlier. But don't be fooled by the new pieces that are made with C-clasp. This does not have a bar going across underneath the pin. It's just mounted on each side. I'm looking for a name. Okay, so I found an NE on it, and that stands for New England Glass Works. And that's great. This is an early 1900s, because they were in business from like the early 1900s, like 1910, 1911 to 1950s. Has these cabochons. Well, actually they are faceted rhinestones. Yes, they are faceted. But this is a great piece. I don't believe any rhinestones are missing. That means I could probably sell this for $50 to $60. At least that's where I'm going to start it. Great piece. This is a gorgeous piece. This white molded milk glass flower, and it's so well made. It's just, you can feel the quality of it. You can see the glossy back, it's got this U-shaped clasp on it, so that tells me it's from like the 1950s, 1960s. Has a C clasp with kind of a long elongated little pin on it, so that's probably gonna make it a little bit earlier. It's just different than what you see nowadays. And it's faceted. See how these are faceted on the back? On the front they're smooth, and they're bezeled. They're almost like bezel set into these little gold frames. They have a little dome shape. Nice piece. I love this one. I think I would price it probably $35. This one, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but it is so sparkly. In real life, it has so much glow to it. I don't normally buy clear rhinestone brooches unless they're a maker like Weiss. And this one is your typical cup chain, has a roll clasp on it, which is mounted on each end, which is, I feel, gives it more quality. But it has so much sparkle to it. Again, it's not coming through on camera, that I believe it's cubic zirconias or crystals. I think they're crystals because of the early age of it. I love this piece too. I had to get it. And I feel like I paid up a little bit for a clearer rhinestone piece, but again, I think it's crystal. I'll test it out and find out for sure. That one I'll probably price at $30. And here we have a starburst one. I love the triangle in the middle. It just really stands out. It's got some little bit of layering to it. It's nothing fabulous. It's got the gold filigree on the back, even up the posts, and a lot of rivets. It's got kind of a U shape with the rivet in the middle. Clasp. It's got a real small clasp because it's, you know, got a small center. Just a nice colorful blue and green piece. This one I'll probably price at $25. And this one, oh my gosh, I couldn't put it down. I did set it down, I picked it back up, set it down, picked it back up. I love the color of it. I love the AB, and these are not AB, the marquees, but the center ones are, so it's a nice contrast. And it just reminds me of the ocean, like an ocean wave. Could be wore several different ways. It's just a really pretty sparkly piece. Let's look at the back. It's got open backs so the light shines through. See how they glow. It's got a rivet in the center with cup chain. Nice piece. This one, because I love the color so much and lots of people like blue colors, I think I'll price this one at $35. It's not a real big piece, as you can see here. If it was bigger, I'd say up to $45, but I'm between $35 and $40 on this one. This next one is a set. And since it was a set, I paid originally $8 for it. But I had him throw in a couple other little things, and so I feel like I got it for a little bit better deal. Can't get the earrings to lay straight. But just a really pretty pressed glass. I take that back. It's ribbed on the inside of the glass. The glass is smooth. And it's got this gold filigree in between and some orange rhinestone accents. But I love these stones. They're almost like tiger stones. It's got the open backs. Oh, they are pressed. It's pressed on the back side. See the ribs? It's got a V-shaped clasp. And I believe this is probably from the 1960s. Here's what the earrings look like. They are clip-on. It's got all the same little gold filigree with the large oval prong set, bead that's pressed, and they're in really good shape. So this set, I'm gonna say I would probably put $45 on it to start and go down from there. All right, moving on to the second box. Let's start up here. This piece is gorgeous green. If you like green, it's two shades. It's kind of got a peridot green color to it, which is coming across on the camera more blue, but it does have more of a green tone to it. And the bigger stones are kind of a medium to dark green, all prong set on cup chain with open backs, and on the end is a hook, and there's no names on most of these. If the name was on there, it'd be on the hook a lot of times. Sometimes in the center you'll find a name, but not very often do you see these cup chain necklaces signed. Okay, next, look at this pretty pink with these tiny, this one's got tinier cup rhinestones on it. Like, compare it to the green one. See how the white ones are smaller? And look at the pink rhinestones there. I call these Navette. I call the shorter, fatter ones Marquis, and I call these Navette. That's just me. People interchange the names all the time. It does have some a little bit darker rhinestones here and there, but they're so tiny that it just still sparkles and looks really nice. And they're not open on the back, I don't believe. Let me flip it over. Nope, they're not open. But it's still just a nice, pretty, kind of a dainty cup chain necklace. This one I'd probably put about 25 on. So we do have a couple clear rhinestone ones in here, and this one has the little rhinestones on it. They are tinier. This one's got a pretty tassel with some marquee shapes on the bottom. It's double layered right at the bottom, and then up to single with some individual accent ones that are bigger. It's got a hook clasp. Let's see if they have a name on it. If I can pick it up. Nope, no name. Let's flip it over. No name on the back of that. Nope, but again, this one is really pretty. This came with the bunch. I almost think they're cubic zirconias because I'm seeing rainbow reflections in this. That's how you tell if it's cubic zirconia. Next, we have another clear rhinestone one. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? It's a very unique style, a unique design. This one's got the bigger cup chain. I almost think this is a little newer. If you look at the back of the piece, oh, it's probably from the 50s or 60s with this rivet in the middle. This chain is just brighter colored. It's not really all that old, I don't think. It does have a hang tag on it. It says Dwayne, as the hook clasp that's thicker. And it's got a little bigger rhinestone on the end. I like when they do this, where they put a hook in between. It's a little easier to hook them that way. That's a nice piece. That one I'll probably put 30 on. Now we have our favorite color, blue. That's the center scalloped. Let's pull this down. It's got hook clasp. Pretty, really pretty piece. I love the blue. And the stones are a little bigger. And I would probably say I would list this one at 25. Again, we have another cup chain rhinestone piece in gold with some baguettes, clear. It's very unusual to see it in gold. A lot of times the clear ones are on silver tone, so that makes this a little bit more interesting. It's got a hook clasp, and you can see it's just kind of a simplified, longer chain. No, it's not. I shouldn't say longer. It's probably still 15, 16 inches. Most of these are chokers, which is some people say collar, some people say choker. It's around 16 inches. I think you can get away calling it either or. And yet we have another one with the teardrops. I'm not going to go through all these. This one looks a little newer, like I'd say 60s. Pretty too. Nice. That one, again, I might say $20. This one might be more in the $20 range, maybe even 18, because here it's got some darkened stones. It's missing one on the end, and the first one here is dark. It's very simplified. You see a lot of this. I honestly don't even know if I'd list this. The back is older. It's kind of got this darkened color to it. You can kind of tell it's a little older that way. Then we have this gorgeous pink one. Now this piece is worth putting up a little bit higher, like in the $45 to $50 range, I would say. Beautiful pink color. Look at these domed, kind of, not iridescent, but they're just so thick that they have like a glow to them. They're not moon glow, they're still transparent. They're just really big, chunky pieces. The back is gold, pink and gold. Okay, so we have kind of an older looking back on it with an older hook on the end. It's got a marquee shaped rhinestone on the end that looks like it's kind of dark. Or maybe it's just a different color, more of a smoky color. It's probably just dark. So this piece, again, I would say $45.50. Then the guy threw in this piece, which I was very happy with, because isn't this beautiful? Look at the layers on this, the color combination of blue and like smoky gray. These are not darkened. They are supposed to be this smoky gray. They almost have a greenish tint to them. He had it marked $37, but he threw it in with my $100 order, so I was pretty happy about that. He's a really nice guy. So this one is older. Let's flip it over. Look at the back. They're not like perfectly square, they're a little more rectangle. And they're all linked together and soldered across. They're linked this way and then soldered together at each point. So there's a lot of work that went into this. And then they tapered it. This one probably is more in the range of, I'm going to say 55. I think I'll set it at 55 or 58 maybe. So that's the extent of my flea market finds. I got lots of bling this time. I don't normally find all that bling. Look at all them all messed up, and my brooches. So I'm pretty happy with this find. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.